I've been waiting to drive this for quite some time, and finally I get the chance. I'm pleased to report that this i30 N is a peach of a hot hatch. It's a true driver's car and it needs to be taken very, very seriously. Now, there's so many things to talk about, all of which is the way it drives, because this is a true, precise, engaging hot hatch. And for a first effort from Hyundai, it's a good job. It's a real good job. Now, there's so many different parameters and different steering settings, all of which you can set up in one button, which is really good. But it's more of the fact that this car is undercutting its competition. I mean, you can buy one of these for what, 27 grand with all the goodies on it? Well, that's got to be what, 4 or 5 grand cheaper than a Golf GTI, and a Golf GTI does not drive like this. Let's see what happens when you knock it in N mode. Let's hold it down for 3 seconds and behave like an ape. Well, instantly the Remus Exhaust is just popping at you. Not too much, just the right amount, and you get a really cool bass 4-cylinder soundtrack. I've got it in the custom mode setting. That means I've got the suspension in sport, and you've got 3 settings for that. Sport's actually the really nice setting. Highlights, well, the steering has got really nice weight and really good communication. It's brilliant. The relationship between the gearbox, the pedal setup and the steering is top notch. Albert Biermann, who came over from B&W, which over the decades has made some of the finest M cars. There's a whiff of that M car in this Hyundai. It just feels so well sorted. It's not necessarily fast. Now, the engine is really good. It's got good mid-range punch, but it seems to drop off at the top end, whereas any A888 engine that you get from the Golf GTI would have a bit more punch and it would like to go beyond redline. Everything seems to die off at about 6.2. Like I said, the steering's really cool, really nice. There's 3 settings for that. There's quite a few settings as well for the differential too. I just go in the more aggressive mode. The front end is really cool too. We're on B roads, so obviously we can only push as much as you want, and on a hot day like today with these Pirelli P0 tyres, it's grippy. It's really grippy. What you do sense is mid-corner you can get onto the throttle a lot more earlier, mainly because of this E-diff. It just really helps in that respect. Now that we've come out of the village, we can give it a bit more stick. Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that you can have all of this for £27,000, and the chassis is so well sorted. It can take, I reckon it can take about 350 brake, easy. 280 horsepower doesn't seem fast, but from an engagement level, from a level where the feel of your steering, the feel of the shift, knowing what the chassis is getting up to me is far more important than how a car goes fast. Now, some of these B roads, I'm probably getting 70% out of it. Something like a Golf R, you can't really get the most out of it. And I was looking on Auto Trader, and you can pick some of these up now for 23, 22 grand with about 1,500 miles on the clock. So you can have all of this as an ex-demo pre-registered car. Don't buy a new one for the same price as a fully loaded Fiesta ST. but the exhaust though. That's the really cool thing. And the cabin is really nice. You know, the touch points are really cool. Okay, there is one niggly point. Every time I try to crank up the volume for the radio, I end up cranking the air conditioning knob, but not really fussed. The way this thing drives sure makes a bigger difference than what the cabin's like. I'm really happy with it, and I think the styling with this, especially in this blue paint scheme, just seems to attract a really nice attention. People look at it and really like it, really enjoy it. It's not dull like a Golf GTI. It's not in your face like a Honda Civic Type R. Mind you, that's quite offensive, the styling. But hey ho, that's everybody's different opinions. There's just something really, really cool about this, and this mated to the Remus exhaust, the Pipercross intake. I reckon people will start buying these because it's a bit of a cult car. The only worry is that I reckon people will not really buy this because it doesn't have the badge poshness of a Volkswagen or a BMW as such, or an Audi, or a Ford maybe. And I really think that if you're gonna buy a car because of its badge, well, you're kind of not into cars, are you really? Let's be honest. I'd have this Hyundai I30 N by a country mile because I just think it represents, like I said, awesome value for money. And the way it drives, it's just... it's brilliant too. It also does the heel and toe or rev match down changes, so it blips for you if you can't do heel and toe, which is a really nice, neat touch. The seating position's nice and low. You can use this, it's got a decent sized boot. Thomas managed to put all his camera equipment in there, which is saying something because he's got quite a lot of camera equipment, which sometimes requires a van to fit stuff in. Yeah, I'm super impressed. Downsides, I suppose, like I said, you can pick one up for 22 grand on the used car market, so it's done about 5 or 6 grand in depreciation in 6 months. That's going to kill you a little bit, but other than that, it's awesome for money. And Motec Performance are going to do a few more bits and pieces with it. So, you know, IVAC springs, spacers. I reckon we should do a video where we put this up against something like a A45, because, you know, something like a 45 grand car, or an RS3 as such, well, this could probably do already. It's a far more engaging car. Okay, it's not as quick, but I reckon if we did a track battle review, this would come out on top. Definitely. Yeah, very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. I might buy one.
Have a look on the video windows on some of the cars tested. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for more automotive action.